if ever there was a pair of Berettas to own, these are pretty much it. So with a brand new pair of these guns setting you back £126,000, they do sit rather high, price-wise, in the market, one could say. But they are a more or less handmade set of guns, so it's not too bad if you compare it to something from the English market. However, a lot of people, to save some money, can buy 2 second-hand ones and put them together as a composed pair. And this is what this chap here has done. So these are available separately in this Holt's auction actually, but you could also buy them together. And actually it's a really interesting time to look at 2 identically-ish spec'd guns, remembering that when you have one of these built, everything's kind of got a bit of variety, and they are hand engraved. So we've got 2 different engravers here, spec'd to different people's likings. So let's have a little look, shall we? So this one here on the top is a 2006 Beretta engraved SO6 EELL, and this one on the bottom here is a 2007 Cortini engraved SO6 EELL. Both have been sort of matched, if you like. So both have a leather covered pad on the back and this is the factory finish on both bits of woodwork. Both bits of wood are very different. Now, neither is perhaps nicer than the other, but it is obviously a personal preference thing throughout. My heart kind of lends to this one, but everyone's different, so you don't have to agree with me in any regard. Both engraving patterns are very, very similar, so both have 3 mallards on. However, it's fantastic to see how different they are actually. The way they've put the ducks, where the ducks sit, and both drakes on the front are of a very similar pattern, but you can see the different engraving styles on both. This is much deeper, sharper, this is more light, but the shading work and the detail in certain feathers is actually finer than that. And that, well, that's art, isn't it? The background on both is very different. Cortini's gone a lot deeper, Beretta's got gone a lot lighter, but that actually blends in off of the lock and into the action a lot nicer than this, where you have quite a harsh line from one to the other. This one also has a little secret duck's head on it as well. I must admit that this lock plate is preferable than this one, and also the scroll work is deeper than on this one, and that it will just be a personal preference thing, because at least with this your bouquets actually have a lot more shading around the outside and stand out a lot nicer. But it's a personal preference thing. Again, this one sits with me. Both top levers are matching and are inlaid 1 and 2. They're not actually matching at all. Only this carving work is matching. The rest of them is different. And again, I just adore this number 2 gun. The version scroll is deeper and a little bit more refined, and that shading work that does make these bouquets stand out so much is not present. Now on the other side of these guns, you can see that actually they are almost entirely different, although they are based around a similar theme. This bottom gun has woodcock and some beautiful trees on the top, and the top gun has a cockbird and a henbird and some slightly finer work in the back. There's some irony that perhaps actually this really fine detail work probably takes a little bit more effort and skill than this slightly bolder work, but this just looks a lot bigger and better and nicer, in my humble opinion anyway. Again, the scroll work is deeper on the bottom one than the top one, and they have the same Beretta markings on the side. Both are absolutely stunning. It's just really strange to have a EELL SO6 in front of you and going, you know, it's not quite so nice as the other EELL SO6, because they are both inherently really, really nice. The bottom again is slightly different on the pair. On this top gun, you got an inexplicable bird. I don't know, it could be a grouse. Could be a partridge, to be fair. Both have RSPH put on the trigger guard, and SO6 EELL engraved again on the trigger guard. And it's amazing to see what different artists did with each. And it'd be very interesting to know how much of that was requested by the owner and how much of that was just a guy sat cutting the metal at the bench. Either way, both these guns are absolutely stunning. And I think by the time if you bought both of them for the guide price and put your buyer's premium on, you could own the pair for like 26 grand, which might be a lot of money, but you couldn't buy one new one for that. So actually that's a really good value. And There is something beautiful in the fact that both stocks are spec'd the same. Both guns weigh very similarly and handle very similarly, but you've always got two slightly differently, so you'll always, well, it's going to be easier to pick your favourite, isn't it? Which counts for something. Both guns come beautifully cased in Beretta cases, and well, how can you not love an SO? By far and away the nicest Beretta out there. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Take care. Thank you very much for Holtz for allowing us to look at these amazing guns. And we'll see you next time.